Hello, hello, hello. It's been a while, chat. It's been a while. Hello, hello. I just waved in real life. Okay. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. Wait, did I start in the middle of ads? I started in the middle of ads. Shit. Whoops. Whoop. Whoops. Whoops. I'm just gonna restart once ads are done. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully people are back now. I also forgot that there's stream delay. So that countdown probably just okay. Anyways, hello, hello, hello. Hello, welcome in, Laser. Hello, yes. I am indeed turning old. I am officially turning old in both Canada and America. I will now be officially old. Hello, hello. Thank you, Laser. Thank you. Love you too, Laser. Hello, Shay. Welcome in. Welcome in. It's been a long time since I went live. It has been so long. Anyways, I'm so excited. It's been a long time, and yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I guess we should probably just hop in. A little bit of context. Every year for my birthday, I redraw the same piece. I've been doing this since about 2015. I think. There's a few years that may have gotten skipped or something. I don't know. But I always draw the same scene. It's a bunch of just spooky little monster friends in a forest posing for like a picture. And I'm already most of the way done with well, not most of the way. I'm already a good chunk of the way done with this year's. Yeah, it's super fun. It's super fun. It's a nice way to track progress over the years. But so this is how this year's is looking so far. I'm in this beginning of coloring. I just finished the line art. For the most part. Yeah, I really love this. Black Hole, hi! Sorry, I totally missed that. You have the same name color as somebody else in chat right now. But hello, hello, hello. I am very excited about this year's. I am a little bit rusty with drawing. Thank you so much, guys. I'm a little bit rusty with drawing because I've been so focused on a bunch of other things. Such as schoolwork. I'm doing some university courses, which are really nice and cool and exciting. I'm studying magic in the medieval era. It's really cool stuff. But anyways, so I was worried with how this year's would turn out, but it's turning out really nice so far, and I'll show you guys last year's. This is last year's redraw, which I'm still really happy with, honestly. I'm still really happy with last year's. It's really cute. The coloring is really nice. Honestly, this is the best coloring I think I've done yet. But yeah, so we'll see how this year's turns out. It's already turning out nice. But yeah, the class is super fun. I love it. I just got into the unit on astrology and geomancy, which is really cool. Just finished a unit on alchemy and magic in the like Islam Arabic controlled areas. It's really cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm really happy with this year's, honestly. But yeah, we should probably get into things before I start rambling too much and just don't get any progress done. But yeah. Mobile, sorry if my messages are delayed. You have absolutely nothing to worry about, Shay. That is no problem here, honestly. I might be a little bit delayed looking at chat just because I am going to be a bit busy looking at the art basically. So we will all be delayed together. So, you know, it is absolutely no problem. But yeah, I should mention I have a little bit of lore about this like piece, kind of. It's kind of lore. It's like semi-lore. But basically, like, I don't know, I try to come up with reasons why things happen in each redraw. Like one year, I wanted to I wanted to write out one of the characters that I had been drawing, because I used to draw like a mummy dude. He was like meant to be like this snooty mummy dude, and I just got so tired of drawing him. Oh no, laser. Oh no. It Stream Elements has captured it's one person per stream. This always happens. I don't know what triggered it this time. I'm assuming it was either paragraph or something. I don't know what it was. But Stream Elements isn't happy. Anyways, but yeah, so I wanted to write out this mummy dude character that I had been drawing every year. So I came up with the mer person that I'm drawing right now. None of these characters have names, by the way. Oh no, Laser. Good night, Laser. It's always one per stream. It's always one. Stream Elements always gets one person. But yeah, good night, Laser. Thank you so much for being here. It's always nice to hear from you. But anyways, so I drew the mer person, and in my head, the way I wrote it was that the mer person contracted like some kind of like little magical like kind of sickness or something that year, and ate the mummy dude. So I had them holding like a severed mummy hand and using it to wave. That was a few years ago now, and I replaced the mummy dude character with this witch. Can everyone accept Stream Elements? Brilliant. But yeah, so I replaced the mummy dude with this little witch character who I had always had in the background as a silhouette. So yeah, so there's like a kind of an ongoing story with it. Basically, this group of monster friends meet every year at the same place to retake the same picture. And they never age because who cares about aging when you are a magical spooky creature? Honestly. I do enough aging for all of them. But anyways, yeah. So it's really exciting. I really love this piece. It's always really fun to revisit it. It's also always a good challenge too, because there's a variety of characters and poses, and it's a fun way to play around with like how much knowledge that I've gained throughout the year. And yeah, I really love it, honestly. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever drawn the mer person like this, which is really cool. I also have an ongoing thing of like, so the mer person's trans, and then I have this character, the witch, has gained weight over the years. The cat is always in a different position. Just literally always in a different position, no matter what year it is. Some years it's curled up sleeping, some years it's up front and center walking around. It'll be curled around someone's legs. Just like all different things. This skeleton has become infinitely more realistic over the years. This year's probably the first one I actually looked up references of skeleton hands to actually draw. Also, I changed it from a turtleneck to a hoodie, so that's fun. Thank you so much, Shay. That really means a lot. I've been growing to love my art style more and more recently, honestly. It's growing a lot more into a place that I have kind of always wanted it to be, so I've been really happy with it lately. Yeah, the cycle of what's it called? The cycle of like artistic burnout and stuff is currently in my favor, which is always nice. But yeah, it's fun. I always enjoy this. It's also just a nice excuse to be, you know, spooky, you know? Because there should always be more of that, you know? My favorite holiday is Halloween, of course, as I'm sure 99% of the audience knows, based off of everything about me. So yeah, I like to have my birthday as a kind of mini Halloween sometimes, and this is just one of the ways that I celebrate that. Yay! Oh man, it's funny, explaining some of the lore that I have too really made me realize that 90% of the lore, quote unquote, that I have about this little piece is like to do with the mer person. I really need to give these characters names at some point, honestly. Honestly, I really do. I have so many like characters, and this is like one of the only groups of characters that nobody has a name. Thank you for the big stretch redemption, Shay. I actually quite needed that. My back was starting to get a little upset at me, so thank you so much. I don't know if that went through the mic, but my back just cracked and that felt really good. God damn. That was a big one. And there's another. I am Snap Crackle Pop. That's me. I am a Snap Crackle Pop person. It just every part of me cracks. Honestly. That's just what happens. Anyways, thank you so much again for the big stretch. I did really need that. Yeah. I will say this year really snuck up on me. Like I completely forgot that my birthday was happening until I looked at my calendar to schedule an appointment, and I was like, oh, this is soon. Crazy thing. So I started this last night. I started this piece last night. I got some of the roughest sketch done, and then I had to go to bed because it was super late. And then I did 99% of the rest of it today, getting it to the point where it is now. Hurrah! Okay. This is also the first year that not the first year, I don't think. I think I've drawn it before. But this is like the first year in ages that I've been able to draw the design on the zombie girl's shirt. It's been ages. I don't know. I just, like, whenever I got to that part, I always decided to opt out of drawing it. But this year, I decided, I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna draw it, because I just need this at some point to be here, because it is a part of her design, but it just, like, never makes it in. So yeah, I'm excited that this year I've been able to include it. Yeah. This is also like kind of stress drawing as well because like again, I didn't realize that it was my birthday so soon until like the last minute. And this piece normally takes at least like 2 full days of work. There have been times in the past where it's taken like almost a full week leading up to my birthday. So yeah, definitely a little bit of hurrying going on. Cuz I don't want to spend my birthday just working on this piece like nonstop. Cuz that's I love drawing, but I would rather spend my birthday like fucking partying if I can, you know? You know? That's just a more entertaining way to spend a birthday when possible. I'm also really happy with how the cat turned out this year. This is the best sleeping cat I think I've ever drawn in my life. And it's just really cute. And you know what I just realized that I've been forgetting to do this entire time, that I've been trying to do more often, because it helps a lot more? I forgot to flip the canvas, and now I'm scared to. Okay. And I have to do medication really quick. Where is it? There it is. Totally not awkward. There we go. Okay. Okay. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it looks pretty decent. Hey, I'm so proud of this. It's not a bad flip. It's a little weird in some places, but it's okay. I'm so proud of this. Yay, even the skeleton looks fucking amazing, which is great. I did the skull without any reference, which is impressive for me. I'm really happy with this. This is really great. It has a lot more movement than I thought it did. Yay! Alright, let's continue on with the flat colors, shall we? The slime has to go on its own layer because it's going to be partially transparent. So I guess I'm going to do the trees next. The trees and then the water. Oh, I just realized the water there is intersecting with the tree root. That's a problem that needs to be fixed. There we go. There we go. I will say the UFO is a little rough this year, but I'm okay with it because it's mostly hidden behind a tree. So it's not actually too bad. Oh no, stream elements not again. I am so sorry about stream elements tonight. Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna check it out and see what could be possibly causing this. Because it is just so finicky. Okay, come on. Chatbot. Is it in spam filters? What is it? Is it the... Oh, it might be the paragraph or the emote. Oh. I think I fixed it. Nope. God damn it. There we go. Okay. It was the paragraph protection, I think. So I upped it to the max. So hopefully that'll help. And we'll see. Just asking for advice on drawing. Ooh, straight or curled horns for a goat? That's a good question. I think it mostly depends on personal preference, but also on technical preference as well. Like, do you find one harder to draw than the other? And would you like to challenge yourself with the harder option, or would you like to just chill out and not have to deal with extra stress? I personally really like, I like the aesthetic of straight horns, I'm not gonna lie. I like the aesthetic of straight horns. I actually have a horned character in the works on one of my other drawings right now, for a secret project that has kind of straight horns. So yeah, I don't know. All right. What was I doing? I have to do the trees now. Okay. I could just do the trees at a brown, and that'll simplify my life, probably. Probably. No problem, Shay. I am always happy to help with artistic endeavors of any kind, really. So, yeah. Thank you for asking. I don't know. It's been so long since I streamed last. I am so rusty. I really need to stream more. And I really want to. But I'm also super crazy busy with projects, so unfortunately streaming has to take a little bit of a back seat right now. But it's worth it because a decent amount of the work that I'm doing right now is for content creation projects, so you know. I have one coming up actually very soon that is deeply exciting if all goes well. But I can't really say anything about it yet. So, you know. So many secret projects. Some more secret than others. Some definitely more secret than others. For sure. Some of them are the ones that I'm taking classes for, not gonna lie. Oh man. Oh, the classes are genuinely so cool. I'm really glad that I get to take them. They're online courses from the University of Barcelona at the moment, and then I'm looking into other courses that I want to take once this one is done, because I think I'm on the second last unit before this one's done. And then I have to find something else to spend my days on, which I'm thinking might be another medieval history course if I can find one, because I'm really enjoying medieval history, oddly enough. Didn't think I would like it as much as I do. But yeah, who knows? I might pursue this more full-time later. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see. Oops. I've also been thinking about other games to play on stream. Here's a good time to say it. Some exciting news is for my birthday, I'm getting a new graphics card. Fucking finally. Because the prices are finally starting to go down to enough to where we might be able to afford it. So I'm hopefully getting a new graphics card for my computer, which means I'm hopefully going to be able to stream games that are more complicated graphically than fucking Minecraft. That would be so nice. Honestly, if I could play Hades on stream and not have it be a like slideshow, that's the dream right there. Because, like, if I could just do that, I would, one, play so much more Hades. Two, I would probably stream more often. Because I can play Hades for, like, an entire day. Because it's just a really good game. Also, it's gay, which means that it's instantly, like, one of the best games ever, you know? That's just how that goes. Oh, man. Speaking of gay things, chat, two of the best things ever. One, Our Flag Means Death. Two, Heartstopper. Hello. I have been utterly obsessed with both of them the past little while because they're absolutely amazing. And if anybody in chat has not seen them, literally just go watch them right now. Like, literally, it's the most worth it thing ever. Just literally, like, find them and watch them because it's so good. They're both so good. I've been following Heartstopper, the comic, for years now. Literally for years. I think I found Heartstopper in 2016, give or take. Maybe not 2016. I don't even remember where I was living at the time. Honestly, I think this is when I was in Hawaii. So yeah, I've been following Heartstopper for years now. Literally one of my favorite comics to ever exist ever. I don't have any of the books, but I really, really want them, especially the coloring book, because they're so cute. And the Netflix series was just everything I could have ever wanted. I am not going to lie. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It made me so happy. It still does. I keep rewatching it. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Shay. I'm sorry. That's always rough. If you ever get the chance to, I can't recommend both of the series enough. Genuinely. They're so good. They are so good. They are so good. Again, I am so obsessed. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Oh man. And then what else have I been watching lately? I saw The Batman. I didn't get to see it in theaters, but I saw it once it came out on digital. And oh my god. The Batman is so good. That's another one where if anybody in chat has not seen The Batman yet, go watch The Batman, because it's literally a masterpiece. Oh my gosh. It's not like the normal comic book movies that keep coming out. It's genuinely a work of art. It's some of the best cinematography I've ever seen. It's really good. It's really good. The entire cast does an absolutely amazing job. Genuinely. Oh man, I'm a huge Batman fan. I have been since I was very little. I feel like most of the shirts I own are Batman something, which just kind of happened. I didn't mean for it to, but it just did. And it's just like, oh my god. This is like everything I've wanted from a Batman movie for so long. It's so good to see a goth Batman. Finally. It's been so long of people trying to like pretend that Batman isn't goth. And it's like, no. No. Batman is very goth. Thank you very much. And they could not have nailed it better. I've been listening to Something in the Way like on repeat just for the past little while. Like genuinely. And like honestly, the choice to have that one as like kind of a running theme, quote unquote, for this Batman is like it's inspired. It's brilliant. It literally sounds like a Batman theme. And they just could not have done any better. I'm really passionate about this movie. It's a good movie. It's genuinely great. Oh, man. Oh. A little bit of a stretch. Oh yeah, this song is from a soundtrack of a game that I really want to play on stream. I've played partway through the game before, but it's been a long time. But it's a game called Mutazione. It's a little like kind of point and click like story game. It's an indie game and it's really, really good. And the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. I recently discovered it on Spotify again, so yeah, but anyways, I really want to play this on stream soon, if I can. The other thing is, I have a bunch of, I have a kind of problem. I have a little bit of a problem, which is that my computer's in rough shape with the graphics card, but it's also in rough shape because of the amount of space on it right now, where it's running out of space. So I need to get through some of my games so that I can uninstall them and make room for other games that I want to play. Like I have a game that I really want to play called Hela's Other Demons. The soundtrack for that game is also amazing. I've never played it, but it looks really good. It's a bullet hell game, so we'll see how well I do if I can play it. And I have it, but I can't install it because I don't have space. So yeah, that's why I want to get through some of my more story-based games on stream so that I can uninstall them. I also have a few games that I need to... Well, I have one game, really, that I need to revisit as well on stream, which is Year Walk, which I recently had to review that VOD footage for another secret project. Shush. And I need to revisit that game because we haven't gotten all the endings yet. And I really want to see the true ending of the game. Because I refuse to believe that the ending that we got is the best possible ending in that game. There's nothing that says that it is the best possible ending. So I need to see. I need to see the other endings. That's like a full day dedication. So we'll see when that happens. Okay, we've got the pond, and then I'm gonna do the leaves on the same layer as the pond, I think. Because I think that that's just gonna be good for getting those out of the way. And then I might do the UFO on the same layer as well, and then I'll do the moon on its own layer, because the moon is going to have a shit ton of glow effects on it, so I want that to be on a separate layer. There we go. It's 10 p.m. I just drank an energy drink, so I'll be up for a while. Oof, I feel that. Oh man. I wish I could have an energy drink right now, not going to lie. But I also don't wish that, because I definitely need to get to bed decently within a reasonable time tonight so that I don't have a migraine on my birthday. Because that's pretty important, and I almost had a migraine today because I stayed up late last night trying to get this done. So we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I will try it. I'm gonna be here for a little while. A little while. I don't know how long, but a little while. Okay, we've got the leaves done. I'm gonna skip this song. It's a pretty song, but it just doesn't feel right. Actually, I'm gonna put on... What do I want to put on? Let's see. Here we go. This is a good one. There we go. There we go. Mr. Riscos. Yeah, I'm gonna do the UFO on this layer. And actually, thinking about it, I should start merging some of these. I'm just merging some of the layers, don't mind me. What layer is this? What layer is this? Huh? Oh, wait. Oh, it's that layer? No, that's that layer. Oh, I know what layer that is. Welcome to my world. This is how many layers there currently are in this piece. There we go. And that's most of the rough sketch layers merged. And then... do I want to merge any of the line art? No, I'm gonna keep the line art going for a little while longer, I think. Look at that face. I'm so happy with the werewolf girl's face this year. I'm so happy with it. It's so cute. I absolutely love her. She's so cute this year. I'm so happy with this. The vampire's face is also just really good this year, not going to lie. That's the best ear like that I've ever drawn. I'm ridiculously proud. Her face is just so expressive this year. Like, I know this is basically bragging, but like, I get to do this. I get to do this. I get to brag about this stuff. I'm proud of it this year. This is great. I'm gonna have to redraw that line art. Okay. There we go. I gave them a little steering wheel, because why not? Oh fuck, I gotta color them in. Whoops. I just remember tomorrow I have exams. This is gonna be fun. Ooh. Good luck on that, Shay. Exams are always fun. I am glad that I am entertaining. Thank you very much. And thank you! I'm ridiculously proud of this piece this year. It's turned out so nice so far. It's really nice. The past while, I've been working a lot on, like, character design art and stuff, so it's really nice to see just how far I've gotten, and I just realized that this seam is missing, so I'm just drawing in a seam. There we go. Because drawing seams on clothing, it seems tedious, but it actually really helps. Okay, I think that's good. Now I can go back to coloring. And finally get this UFO colored in. Okay. I'm gonna do this mostly in gray, I think. Just to get a flat color in there. Occasionally I'll draw like an alien silhouette, occasionally I won't. This year I opted for the silhouettes because I just think that it's nice to have another tiny little detail in there. We'll see. If I end up writing out another character at some point, then the aliens will come in and I'll figure out something else for the background. I also debated drawing bats this year, but I kind of opted out of bats this year. We'll see. I might add them in last second, but I think I'm gonna leave the bats out this year. Which is fine, because I spent the day crocheting a bat bookmark whenever I wasn't working on this, so, you know, I think it's fine. Which, side note, by the way, crocheting bats is like one of the hardest things. It not hard per se, but it is hard. It's super deeply annoying. I think I gotta do the slime now, and then I should do a little bit of background. And then I can do more colors, I think. I may use this one for the slime. What was I saying? Yes, bats are really hard to crochet. So I was looking for patterns to work off of. And there's a lot of decent patterns out there, but nothing like what I wanted, because what I've been doing lately is I've been working with this like basically floss to make bookmarks. It's super tiny. It's the tiniest crochet work I've done ever. So far I've made like a sun themed bookmark. It has like this lacy like sun, and then coming down from it is like a golden drop. And I sewed a little butterfly button onto it because it was just like really perfect and pretty. So I did that. And then from there I did another one. This time I made it an ice cream cone with a little drop melting down. Because I thought that would be really cute, and it turned out quite nice. So I did that, and then the latest one, I've been really into crocheting bookmarks lately, mostly because I've been getting into reading some of the books that I have lately, both for studying and for fun. So I've needed more bookmarks, because we just didn't have any. It's also helpful because my mom's also been really into reading her books lately, so she needs bookmarks as well. But the bookmark that I thought of a little while ago and have been trying to make ever since was I had two ideas, both the same theme, which is like a Dracula vampire theme. The first idea was to do a cross with blood dripping down. So I spent a while looking through cross crocheted bookmark patterns because I was like, I have no idea how to do this. So I spent a nauseating amount of time looking through Catholic crochet blogs. Found one that looked decent, tried it out, and none of the yarn I have is the right size for it. Scrapped that, and decided to go with a bat with a blood drop dripping down instead. Couldn't find any decent bat applique patterns to work off of. So I had to make my own. So I made my own, and it looks adorable, and I'm really happy with it. It's really cute. And I was originally thinking about giving it to a goth friend of mine, but I think I'm gonna keep it because it's just so cute. I really love it. And I've needed a new bookmark for my copy of Dracula that I'm slowly working through anyways, because right now it's just a single piece of yarn, so... Draw hands, you're so good at drawing, I can't get over it. Oh, thank you! Thank you! It's been a long time sticking with it. As long as you stick with it, you will get where you're going, you know? You will get there. If you're not happy with your work currently, stick with it, because it only improves with time. Genuinely, it only improves. Unless you're Butch Hartman. What else do I want to do? The moon needs its own layer. Fun times. I have so many layers. So many layers. We're gonna do the moon in this blue just so I can see kind of what I'm doing. I might skip this song. It's a really good song, but I don't quite feel like it right now. I'm also not really feeling this one. I'll do more Mystery Skulls though. Hell yeah. Such a jam. Such a jam. This is off the latest album. Which is just it's oops, all bangers. It's literally the latest Mystery Skulls album. It's just oops, all bangers. That's all it is. I have this as a base of like where the grass is. But I think I'm gonna put that in there. And I'm gonna do a new one. Okay. Ooh, what brush do I want to use for this? Because I have that brush, but I think it's a little bit too fuzzy. Redstone, welcome in Redstone. Hello, hello, hello. It is indeed I. Hello. I am drawing an annual piece that I draw every year for my birthday. And I'm just looking for something to draw, a brush to get the long grass in the background in. How are you doing, Redstone? How are you doing? Where was the brush that I used for the... There it is. It's a brush that's technically used for drawing fur, but I quite like it for grass. Thank you so much for the big stretch. I'm gonna do a wrist stretch this time because my wrists have been doing a lot today. So I think it's good to give them a little bit of a rest. There we go. Just woke up. Oh yeah, what time is it there? It's like what? 5 hours ahead or something? I don't know. Don't actually wait. No, don't answer that. Don't say your time zone in chat. But yeah, it's like super early over there, I think. Here we go. I'm gonna try to take up the cartoon art style of the Gravity Falls style a lot. Oh, Gravity Falls is such good art. Oh man, it's such good art. Like it Alex Hirsch in general. I just love Alex Hirsch's art style. It's so good. Genuinely. I love it. Also, I'm gonna use a line thing just to make sure that I can get a decent bit of this in. There we go. So that it's a little bit cohesive. Okay. There we go. And then what's this one? Nope. Nope. Let's see. This is a good one for this this picture. This is a very fitting little song. I'm gonna use this just as a base for some texture. Fill it in, I think. We'll see how it goes. I don't really draw a ton of backgrounds, so every year the background in this piece is always a little bit of experimentation. Actually, who am I kidding? It's a lot of experimentation. It's a lot of experimentation. The background in this piece is always like 90% experimentation. Honestly. Mish! Welcome in, Mish! Yo! We have had all 4 members of the Cosmic Creatures in stream chat at some point tonight. At some point. Love the song in the background. It's Ghost Choir by Louis Zong. It's so good. It's so cute. Yeah, Laser was here earlier, and Black Hole was also here earlier. Black Hole may or may not be lurking right now. But yeah, we've had 4 out of 4 tonight, which is exciting. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Very exciting, very exciting. Truly, tonight is a very good night. I might use a little bit of this brush too. This is my own grass brush that I made before I knew that the brush store existed for Fire Alpaca. I made my own grass brush, which is what I used last year for like 99% of the grass. I used this brush. There we go. A little bit of texture. A little bit of texture. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Happy early old day. Thank you, thank you. I am growing so old and weary. Oh, my poor aching bones. Oh. Oh, man. Thank you so much. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. Alright, we've got a little bit of background in. I'm gonna put in one more thing. We're gonna take this and we're gonna go like this. Alright. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little bit deeper. A little bit more saturated too. There we go. Okay. And we will revisit things later to make sure that the shading's good too. So, it looks weird right now. It's supposed to look weird right now. Can't stay for long, just wanted to peep in and say hi. Aw, thank you so much for popping in, Mish. Always happy to hear from you, always happy. Thank you for visiting. Oh, God. I'm very happy tonight. I am very happy. Alright, let's try and get into some of the deeper flat colors, let's say. the deeper flats. These colors always change throughout the years because they just do. I can't save a flat version of the piece. That's just taking up too much space on my PC. So they always change at least a little bit throughout the years. There we go. But it's also for the better, because they've been steadily getting better over the time. As my understanding of how color works has improved greatly. There we go. I'm genuinely so happy with how the werewolf girl turned out this year. She's so cute. Oh god! Wrong layer. No. God damn it. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna ignore what just happened. 'Cause nothing happened. It's fine. Nothing happened. That has been happening to me so much lately when I draw on stream. I don't know what it is, but it's happened so much lately. There we go. There we go. Yay! Now this is starting to work. Oh, there's an entire piece there that I... Song sounds very familiar. Yes, Tommy Innit does use a version of that song. That's the Fairy Fountain song from Legend of Zelda. Where do I have it saved? Yeah, Great Fairy Fountain. Yeah, it's a version done by Less Gravity. Is the one I use in my my playlist. It's a very cute version, so I quite like it. Here we go. Because I completely and totally missed this. And I can't really see what I'm doing, so I'm going to turn that down low so I don't accidentally erase too much. There, okay. Much better, much better. Is there anything else that I forgot here? No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay. Back to coloring. Yeah, no problem, Shay. Be careful. Oh, I forgot to finish coloring this hand. Life with ADHD. There we go. Yay! I'm not sure how far I'll get in the coloring tonight, but I'm hoping to get decently far. Though I can already feel myself getting tired. Which is not a great sign. Oh, wait, did I use the wrong color? I used the wrong color. Her general, like, skin fur is a lighter shade than her, like, hair fur. Great. Also, that feels way too light. So we're gonna tone that down a little bit. It could be just the surrounding colors and the fact that I had it a darker brown a second ago, but it still feels too light. So we're gonna tone that down, and then we're gonna go in with the darker brown in the areas where the darker brown is supposed to be. Oh, citizen through and through. Oh, that's not right. That's the zombie ear. Here we go. I really need to come up with names for these characters, not gonna lie. Really should come up with names. Just calling them the zombie girl and the werewolf girl and all that is a little bit weird for characters that I draw every single year on my birthday. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Oh man. Ooh, actually, I just remembered, thinking about this song, which is a fucking banger. I just remembered that I put in new channel point redemptions, which is super exciting. They tend to be pretty, a lot more expensive ones, but hopefully it's worth it, for those who, are regulars and like to watch the streams and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully they're nice and exciting. But we have, I have to like actually check them to remember. Yeah, okay. So we have two. We have Speak Bard Speak and Bedtime Story. Speak Bard Speak is basically when it's redeemed. I have so many like poetry and like lyric books. It just kind of happened. They just kind of happened. I don't fully know why. It just happened that I kind of ended up collecting them. Don't know why. But anyways, I have a lot. I have, just looking at the ones nearest me, I have the complete poems of Emily Dickinson. I have 100 Middle English lyrics. I have, let's see, I know I have more. I think that's actually it for the ones closest to me. Unless I'm missing something. Oh yeah, I also have, a collection of all the sonnets. But they found my food stash. Oh no, not the food stash. Oh, I'm glad you made it back okay though. I was just explaining, I have two new channel point redemptions, Speak Bird Speak and Bedtime Story. Speak Bird Speak is I take one of my poetry or lyric books, because I have a lot of them, and I will read something out of them. I'll read like a poem or whatever. And then Bedtime Story, which is a lot more expensive, is basically I will read out like a chapter of a book to chat as like a bedtime story. I haven't fully figured out all of the like specifics of that one, but that's kind of what I'm thinking for it. It's like a little bedtime story. You guys get one chapter per stream. And yeah, I'm thinking about maybe doing, actually, I'm not sure what book I would want to read first. I have a lot of good books near me, that I want to get through. I have every single Shakespeare ever written. I have every single, Poe ever written in multiple copies. I have a bunch of like Irish legend books. I have some other old stuff. I've got multiple copies of Dracula. Dracula might just have to be it, because I just really want to get through Dracula. I've never fully gotten through Dracula, admittedly. I really want to, because it's good. It's genuinely good. I just have never managed to get through it before. Despite the fact that I've gotten through so many other classics. Which, by the way, I do also have Frankenstein and Jekyll and Hyde, which are two of my personal all-time favorites, so those are also in the running. But yeah. So those are the new channel point redemptions, and I hope that those are exciting. Yeah. don't really know what else to say about them. But I've just been really into reading lately, and I've been collecting a lot more books, so I want to get through my books. Because it doesn't really feel right having all of these beautiful books for these stories that I love and really respect and am interested in, and not reading them. So, yeah. Let's do her eyes now. I always like to do like a nice, like vibrant, like gold yellow for her eyes, because that's just very werewolfy. I'm also not gonna lie, I've been really wanting to stream some work that I've been doing for one of my secret projects. Like, deeply wanting to stream a lot of it, because a lot of it is art based. But I don't know if that'll actually happen or not, because it is a large part of it is either spoilers or something that I don't know if I could resist not giving spoilers for. But I really want to. So there's that little tease there. Let's get her tongue colored in. I'm gonna change that to a lighter pink, I think. There we go. And then, oh, I forgot her nose. Her nose! Her nosy! It must be colored in. There we go. There we go. And then I'm gonna use this same cream for all of this, like, kind of sheepy fur stuff around her. Which, honestly, thinking about this character design must be so deeply uncomfortable. It's just fur against fur. That must suck. But whatever, it's her fashion choice, not mine, obviously. I'm not to blame. This is the second time this song has popped up. And I like this song, but I'm just not quite feeling it. Have we had this one? I don't know if we had this specific one tonight. I know we had another one, but I don't know about this specific one. Oh yeah, by the way, going back a few topics, speaking of books that I've been collecting a lot of lately, I found another copy of Dracula. I currently have 3 copies of Dracula. I have like a typical, like, just normal plain text version. It's like by far the most beat up old copy. Because I got it and it was falling apart. So I've actually done a few repairs on it and it's still falling apart. But it's by far got my favorite cover on it. It's like it's the Penguin Classic version with the painted picture of his hand on the edge of his coffin with like the super sharp nails and stuff that I just absolutely love. It's my favorite cover, which is part of the reason why I keep this copy.
even though it's so old and falling apart. It's somehow survived multiple road trips, which has not done it any favors, but you know, it's got certain corners that have been taped multiple times. But I have that. I have, the funniest one I have is the manga version. I have a manga version of Dracula, which obviously is kept right next to it. Just shuffling some of my books. But I have a manga version that I'm planning on donating, I think, at some point, because it's very cool, but it's just not quite my personal favorite version of Dracula. Although I haven't read it, so. But then I found, the last time I was out shopping, I found at a thrift store, it's called The Illustrated Dracula. It's not actually illustrated. They took still shots from the old Bela Lugosi, like, 1930s movie. And it's this massive, massive book, and they've used those in the place of illustrations. And it's this beautiful, beautiful book. It's so cool. It must be from, like, oh my god, yeah. Here it is. Yeah, this is from 1975. This version. I don't know if this exact copy is. I can't actually find when this one was specifically printed. It might actually be from 1975. It might actually be. I don't know, but I found this one. Ash! Hello, Ash! Don't worry about getting the note of late. Hello, welcome in. Yo! I'm just talking about the newest copy of Dracula that I got, which is really cool, and instead of illustrations, uses stills from the Bela Lugosi movie version. And I'm deeply excited about it. But so I got that. I got another really big book lately that I was super excited about. Oh yeah, I found a copy of The Phantom of the Opera, which is also super excited. It's super exciting. Oh, I've been finding a lot of books that I've really wanted for like years now that I've just never been able to find before. I found a copy of The Castle of Otranto, which is really exciting because that's like considered the first Gothic novel ever written. It's not really novel. It's from like kind of almost before novels were invented a little bit, but it's like the first like Gothic one. But I found that. I have, again, I found a book that's just every single William Shakespeare ever written. All of the plays, all of the sonnets, everything. Let's see. I got, oh, yes. I got two different books that are both called The Invisible Man. Actually, one's called Invisible Man, but they're both basically called Invisible Man. And the first one was actually not the classic Invisible Man that we all know and love. This one's actually it's a fictional story, but it's like a like sociological, political, not political, but like it's like a perspective like story written in the 50s, and I picked it up and I was like, this is kind of an odd thing, you know? I couldn't tell at first if it was the Invisible Man that I was like originally looking for, which is like, of course, the classic Gothic horror. I couldn't tell at first if it was that, and then I flipped over the back to see if I could get a synopsis, and I read the reviews and they were like, this is the most impressive piece of literature written by an African American, and it was all these reviews from racist people, and I was like, what the fuck is this book? What the fuck? Like old people who are racist in history, you know? Not like people who are like racist today. People who are racist in history because the times were racist, you know? I want to make that clear. Like, I want to make that clear. But I picked it up, and it's become like my favorite book ever. It's called Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. And it's literally one of the best things I've ever read. It's so good. I looked up the author, and apparently the New York Times at one point described him as a god of American literature. If that makes any of it clearer to anybody listening. But yeah, so I've been reading that lately, and it's the farthest I've gotten in a book in a long time, and I love every bit of it. Also, not for the faint of heart. Super R-rated. But very, very good. I've also been reading the original Invisible Man, which I just picked up last time I was out, which is also really good, but not as good as this, but fucking good. It's amazing. I recommend a good book to you. It's called Legend by Mary Lou, and I'm obsessed with it. It has 3 books after it, and I've read them all. I can't get enough of it. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna look into that, actually. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna write that down. Because I am absolutely happy to take book recommendations, genuinely. I'm happy to take book recommendations, and I'm happy to give book recommendations. Here we go. Legend by Mary Lou. Okay. I have that saved. But yeah, so I've been really excited about that lately. Let's see, what else did I get lately? I got a copy of Candida by Voltaire. No idea if I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's exciting. I've gotten a few Cole's notes, which are always really good for anybody doing university work. If you're ever in like a thrift store and you find like a book that has like a yellow and black like caution stripes on the side, that's Cole's notes, most likely. It'll say on the actual thing if it's Cole's notes. And it's kind of like, it's like vintage Sparks notes, where it's like the full, like whatever it is that you're reading. Like I have a copy of Cole's notes, Romeo and Juliet. I also have a copy of Cole's notes of Mice and Men. And it goes through and it breaks down everything so that you can understand it better, and it's like it'll give you like important notes and like analysis of text and stuff like that. So like, for example, before Sparks Notes existed, before the internet, when my mom was going through university and doing English, Cole's Notes is what she used. So I have a couple of those. You can always find them for dirt cheap at like thrift stores and stuff, like especially thrift bookstores, which I've been loving lately. You can find them for like $2. They're super cheap, really good. So I have 2 of those, and I want to get more, and I'm gonna write that down too. Fablehaven. Yes, I remember when you read that. That was very good. I have that saved now. Alright. But yes. So I've been super into that lately. I also have a copy of Dr. Faustus. And it's funny because I found it. And I was like, I really want to get a copy of Dr. Faustus because this is a lot of what I'm studying with medieval magic. Is stuff that is portrayed in Dr. Faustus, namely the mythology around necromancers. So I was like, I really want to get a copy. So I was looking through a thrift bookstore again, and I found a copy of it. But the funniest part of it is that it's actually an Open University set book, and Open University is one of the universities I'm studying with, not for the medieval magic course, but for a different course. And it's a university based in the UK. And this book is like from the 70s. But it's from the university I'm studying with, or one of them. So that was really funny and exciting to find, so I snapped that up. And I've also been getting a lot of like actual like non-fiction like textbook things too. Like I got one that's a history of the medieval church, which I'm excited to get through, because that's like 90% of what I'm studying. When you study the medieval era, 99% of it is to do with the church, depending on where you're studying. So for any of the like Anglo-Saxon, like Christian Latin areas, it's all about the church. Even if there's like secular governments in place, it's all about the church. So I got that, and then I got another one lately that is literally a book compiling, what is it? It's a compilation of basic documents in medieval history, which is another really exciting one. An exciting thing about the history of the medieval church, too, is that it has a section specifically on, like, witchcraft and heresy, which is literally exactly what I'm studying. So, you know. But yeah, so that's exciting. I also got a textbook on, well, not really a textbook so much, but I got a book on the age of piracy, because I watched Our Flag Means Death. You know.
Once I finish this current course, I might actually look for a course about the age of piracy, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I might just do that.
So yeah, I've run into a problem here, which is that this base color is so similar to the color of both her jacket and her shorts, so I have to change that. I'm gonna grab this pink. And we're gonna do that. And then I'm gonna do this. Okay.
But yeah, that was a bit of a kind of a tangent, but also not really, because this is my stream and I'm just saying stuff from my life lately. But yeah, that's been really, really exciting. Yeah, I've been really super into collecting books lately, genuinely. Like I've always been super into collecting books, but university has just given me an excuse to go all in. So I'm taking that excuse. I'm taking that excuse, honestly. Honestly, it's been really nice. This is like one of my favorite things, honestly. My mom and I keep joking that I'm basically just a Aziraphale from Good Omens at this point. And really I need to have a bookshop that's just an excuse to have a place to keep my books. It's not actually to sell any books, it's just to keep my books in. That's the joke being made normally. But also genuinely working in a bookstore would be like the dream. I worked in a library for a short period of time, and I will never not talk about how much I miss working in a library bookstore setting. Genuinely, it's just like the best ever working environment that I've ever been in. But anyways, but yeah, So that's been a fun thing. Redeem breathe. Oh, okay. This is a fun one. I haven't done this one in a while, so I have to find which thing it is. Is this one? No, it's not that one. What is it? There it is. Okay. So basically, breathe is I put this GIF up, and I'm gonna put on a timer. And the timer is just for how long the GIF stays up. It's not for how long you have to do the exercise for. But basically, this GIF is for anybody who has anxiety or just wants to do a breathing exercise, or anybody else dealing with anything stressful. And you breathe in time with the GIF. And it helps just balance things out, and it's good for if you struggle with panic attacks and stuff. Breathing exercises is literally one of the biggest like treatments for it, like in the moment. Wow, this is just okay. Hold on. The music decided to be super like not relaxing at the moment, so there. Okay. Not the most relaxing song, but whatever. So we're gonna keep that up, and we're gonna do some breathing. And my explanation took too long. I need to be more wary of how long I speak for. I'm gonna put the timer on again because that felt too short. And this time I'll let y'all do it. Alright. Alright, there we go. Alright. I hope that was nice for you guys. I'm still working out kind of how things are gonna function for some of these rewards, but I don't know. I hope that was decent. I don't know if I should talk during that reward or not, but yeah. Thank you so much for the breathe redemption, Shay. Have you seen In Space with Markiplier? I have not seen it yet. I haven't seen a lot of the like kind of choose your own adventure things that Markiplier does. I'll be honest. I think the last one I saw was the one where it starts out with cat burgling the art museum. I forget which one that's called. I think it's a heist with Markiplier. I think that was the last one I saw. I don't know if there have been any others since then. I think there was at least one? I don't know. I haven't seen a ton of Markiplier content lately, so yeah. Just realized that I had extra bit of coloring there that I hadn't seen before, so that's fun. There we go. I think that was the first one. Heist with Markiplier. Heist, Date, and In Space. Yeah, I haven't seen Date,
and I haven't seen In Space, but I've heard a lot of good things about In Space. So who knows? I might check it out. I might not. We'll see. Oh god damn it! That's the wrong layer. There we go. Okay. Do I have anything else on the wrong layer? I've got a little bit, but that's fine. As long as it's not interrupting another color, it should be okay. There. Just choose your own adventure ones. Space. Oh, is In Space not a choose your own adventure thing? Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check it out. I will say the tiny bits of stuff that I've heard remind me a lot of things that I've seen from. There's a band called The Mechanisms, and they did like space opera like musical things. And then it also reminds me of Steam Powered Giraffe, which has entire albums that are like space opera type storylines, that I absolutely love because I'm a Steam Powered Giraffe nerd. Cartoon style, and I molded it into a kind of a mix of Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. Ooh, that sounds really good. I love both those shows deeply. They were like crazy huge parts of like my earlier teenage years. My like early and mid and later teenage years. Specifically for Steven Universe. But also Gravity Falls. So that sounds awesome, honestly. God, I miss Steven Universe. I miss Gravity Falls too, but I miss Steven Universe. Steven Universe was like that was a big one for me. That was like, I got mom into Steven Universe. I got my mom into Steven Universe. She loved it. And we used to watch it together, when it was airing, so. There's my wholesome story. Okay. I'm not sure about this color right now. We'll see. I might have to change the jacket color to be more, like, saturated. Because it's kind of mixing a little bit too much with the jeans. I knew it was Mystery Skulls. I knew it. I had to check, but I knew it was Mystery Skulls. It's too groovy to not be Mystery Skulls. Honestly. Good shit. Good shit. Although, to be fair, when is it not good shit for Mystery Skulls? Again, oops, all bangers. There we go. That's something that Mystery Skulls has in common with another band called Peach Pit. But unfortunately, I can't play Peach Pit on stream. Else I will totally get DMCA'd. Which is a damn shame. But someday I will play Peach Pit for you guys. And y'all will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make something here changed a little bit. Oops, all bangers. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it, Ash. That one, I'm pretty proud of that one. Although, actually, wait, no. Is it mine? No, it's not even mine.
Sorry, I completely forgot. No, that actually stems from a meme I've seen. I do not claim credit in any way, although I have used it several times in the past to make my own memes. It is not originally my meme. I think the first time I saw it was a meme about Lovejoy's music, which is also incredibly true. Because Lovejoy is also Oops All Bangers. Okay. I think I can make this blue a little bit darker. Yeah, that's more of a nice jean color. And then I'm gonna make this darker and more saturated. Maybe? That's decent. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with this, maybe. I don't really like the values. The, like, grayscale value type situation. I don't know, they just feel like the same. Like, here. Bear with me. There we go. This is how you can check, like, your values and stuff. Yeah, they just look too much the same. I have a Discord notification. Where's my Discord notification? Yo. Alright, that was... what am I doing? Values, yes. But yeah, for anybody wondering how to do that, you just literally just bucket tool black and then you set the layer to color. And it'll set everything to grayscale so you can check your values. I don't normally do it, but for things like this it can be helpful. Just so I kind of know what I'm doing. But this, I think I can push this lighter. And that should hopefully help. Okay. Okay. I think it's getting there. I think it's at a decent place right now. Alright. And then, you know what? I'm gonna use this yellow for the socks. She always has this mismatched set of socks. They're not really super mismatched because they have the same colors, but the stripes are going different directions. She always has one all the way up and one scrunched down. Because I originally created this, the first iteration of this when I was, like 14. Actually, no, technically I was 13 because I drew it the day before my birthday. But yeah, to give you guys a, you know, an idea of when this started for me. I'm turning 21 tomorrow. No ages in chat. I'm turning 21 tomorrow, and I'm redrawing a picture that I originally drew when I was 13. So, oh my god, it's been so long. Oh my god. I'm so old. Sorry, that just hit me there for a second. That just hit. Wow. Oh my god. Because I drew the first iteration of this
picture in 2015, so wow. That is crazy. There we go. Socks done. Okay, so worrying about the other day. Wait, worrying about what? Wait. I've lost track. The subject has changed too much. Oh, is this about values? Yes, it was. Okay. Values on the pic might be whack, but I have a pic redraw to show you later. Ooh! That was an odd noise. Okay. I am excited about that though. I am genuinely excited to see that. I am excited. Okay. And then this is where the lightest brown comes into play with the little kind of like fancy little hipster hiking boots. They're not hiking boots in any way, shape, or form, but they're like hipster hiking boots, you know? You know? Like hipster. They're not meant to be the most functional. They're like the Uggs of like hiking boots, you know? There we go. And then let me just take this a little bit darker. For this, that's actually way too close because I can't see that for the life of me. Okay, this is still close, but it's a little bit better. I can see this. I can make this one out. There we go. Do I want the heel colored? No, I don't want the heel colored. I want the heel to be the same color. There we go. Slowly but surely getting better at shoes over time. Slowly but surely. There. Oh my gosh, she is looking so cute. So cute. Oh my gosh. Look at her. Look at her. I'm so excited about this. Oh my gosh, and it's so late. I spent so long on one character. Fuck. Uh-oh. I was not supposed to spend that long on the one character. Okay. Okay, anyways. It's zombie girl time. So I'm gonna do her in a different layer. There we go. There we go. Yay. I'm gonna put this layer underneath hers, maybe? No, I'll go on top. There. Oh, I already colored the teeth. I forgot I colored the teeth in. Oh, I colored those on the wrong layer. Oh, we're just gonna ignore that and pretend that that never happened. Okay. Louison. There. I did see, I know Louisong's done another collab with BDG, but I haven't heard it yet. Which I really need to get on that, but yeah, I'm excited about that because Thumbnail is genuinely like such a good song. So I am excited to hear what else they have come up with. I have to get the coloring right on the different the different patches. It's very important. I've added a lot of different patches over the years. She's slowly gotten more and more patches. I don't remember which ones came first, particularly. But this year she has an extra 2 fingers. One on this hand that I'm coloring now, and then one on her other hand that have both been patched. Just a little way to show change. Also to show that I'm getting a lot more detailed with my art. Although I should mention, her patches have not stayed consistent over the years. I've only recently started caring about the consistency. So are you doing cute zombie character right if you aren't adding more patches occasionally? Exactly. Exactly. Look. Zombies deserve patches. They just do. They deserve skin patches. Like, it's very deeply important. Like, they gotta have them. Especially if you make them look like socks. Like what I have done. Oh. I love this zombie character. And now I get to work on her hair. I gave her like an orange hair, but like desaturated orange kind of. Which is normally just brown, but it's orange, damn it. Cause I don't know, when I was like really like starting to make her, I was like, I've never really seen a lot of zombie characters with orange hair. I'm gonna give her orange hair. So I did, and she's got some gray streaks. Cause also, what is a zombie character without gray streaks? Like, hello. And her gray streaks have gotten bigger over the years. Absolutely. Which is also partially me just learning how to draw gray streaks, but also me wanting to make them more visible. There have also been a few years where she hasn't had this little eyeball, too. Which is another thing that I just added in. And just really liked. Actually, I think it was in the original, too. I could pull up the original, if y'all want to see it. Here. Let me see if I have it saved on this computer. I think I have a picture of it. It was originally done, traditionally. Before I ever had any digital software to do it. Is that the first one or is that the second one? I think that's the second one. Where's the first one? Actually, I might not have the first one saved. Because the first one's just so old. I'm just looking through my art pictures and stuff. Is that literally the oldest? It is. It has to be. Okay, well, this isn't the first one, I think. It might be, I don't know. But here is this. Actually, no, it is. This is the first one. This is the one from 2015. Oh my god, it's so old. Yeah, the eyeball's there from the beginning.
And she has like full gray hair. Wow, oh my gosh.
But yeah, this is my super old art style. I had all of these little chibi characters.
I had a ghost character. Oh, I forgot about the ghost. I should really add the ghost back in at some point. Man. Wow, look at this. Look at that fucking skeleton. That is fucking nothing. And here's the mummy character that I wrote out. This is before the mermaid character got added in.
The cat's been there from the beginning. That's one of the most important parts.
Wow. Wow. I even had this little chibi guy dressed up as a spider. Oh my gosh.
Wow, and you see the patches are just totally not the same.
Oh my gosh. Wow, this is so old. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Wow. Done with markers, as is pretty obvious. But some of them were 60 years old and some of them were brand new. That's not a joke, by the way. I have a pack of vintage antique markers that I found. Somebody threw them out and I took them, and they're like 60 years old.
So that's like all of these like dying marker patches is from those. I still have those. I should really see if some of those still work. Oh, that was nothing. Chat, you saw nothing. You saw nothing, chat. You saw nothing.
Let you redo this every year. Not gonna lie, I throw out most of my traditional art like 2 months after I draw it. I can't throw out anything. It will literally like mentally devastate me to throw out like art and stuff. I can't do it. I have some art that I've genuinely lost. Like I think the book that I drew the original of this in, I lost in a move. So it's like on a different continent, if it still exists. And literally, I'm so sad. So sad about it still to this day. I literally can't throw anything out. I just do not have that heart. But yeah, this is like genuinely something that like I've worked to really try and keep as like a little practice in my life, because it's just such a nice thing to do. It kind of follows a piece of advice that I got from a friend years ago, in a way. And the advice was, if you want to follow like a year resolution thing, don't set it on New Year's. Set any like New Year resolution type things on your birthday, because you're going to be more likely to follow through with them, because you're more emotionally attached to your birthday than you are to New Year's. And I've like followed that advice ever since, and it genuinely works. And this is like kind of in the same vein as that. This is like genuinely something that like I do it every year on my birthday because I care about my birthday. I've tried to do redraws on other days of the year. Like I had one that I might revive, that I did every year on Halloween, and then I had one that I tried to establish as a New Year's redraw. But I honestly hated that piece, and I just could not get into it, and it just... This is the one that's stuck ever since 2015. Again, I kind of just fell into it, because I just drew it one year on my birthday, and then the next year I was like, I should redraw this as like a birthday thing. And then I did, and yeah. I keep most of my digital art. I get into my mindset. My bad art is cringy and it should be disposed of. Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's so easy to get wrapped up in like cringe culture in art and stuff, but like one of the things that I'm really thankful that I was exposed to really early on in my like art journey was I used to watch a bunch of like art like advice and critique channels a lot. One in particular that I loved and still recommend for a lot of technical advice today is a channel called Psychra on YouTube. I haven't watched any videos from that channel in a long time, so I don't really remember a ton of stuff, but like one of the things that I remember seeing consistently throughout a lot of art advice like channels and stuff was never throw out your art. Literally never throw out your art if you can. And always date your pieces. Because you're going to look back on them, or you're going to wish you could look back on them later on. And it's always worth keeping them because they are important parts of your journey. And it's there's a cringe culture in learning that I just absolutely despise. Oh, good night, Shay. Good luck with your exams. Good luck. I miss my very sincere, very cringy self-insert art from my anime weave days. I feel that. I don't know if I want to show it tonight, but I have my oldest sketchbook with me. It's not actually the oldest one I've ever had, but it's the oldest one I currently have, because my actual oldest one was lost in a move. I think one of my siblings actually has it somewhere in the world. And I feel that. I have my oldest in my possession sketchbook right next to me from the deepest part of my anime and creepypasta obsession when I was like 12. When literally I thought OCs just were self-inserts, basically. So every original character that I had, almost, not every, but most original characters I had from then were self-inserts, because I literally thought that that's what it was. But yeah, I feel that. And genuinely, like, I, for the most part, can't look through that sketchbook now, because it's like, I just get so like, oh god, 12-year-old me, why?
Which is why I'm not currently opening it up. That's gonna be like a charity sub goal next time I do a charity stream.
But yeah, I still keep it because it's an important part of my art journey, and even if I'm embarrassed about a few things, it's never worth being embarrassed about learning, you know? And it's never worth discarding evidence of you learning, you know? Which is something that I try my best to carry through with me into other parts of my life too, like content creation. Genuinely, I try to carry that through with me into most things I do, because it's important, you know? And that's why I try not to shy away from, you know, embarrassing moments on stream and stuff like that as much as I can, you know, while still being human, especially a human with uh, what's it called? Rejection sensitive dysphoria. Because it's important. It's important to go through those, and it's important for other people to see that. Because, again, it's part of learning. It's natural. It's just how people learn and how that works and how it functions. But there's such a culture of like, oh, my old stuff is so cringy, you know, and like, oh, I'm so embarrassing, you know, and stuff like that. And like all these people who like don't have like early streams up or early YouTube videos up anymore and stuff like that, you know, even if there's nothing actually wrong with it, it's just because they're embarrassed, you know, which is totally valid. But I want to let people see like life means you were cringy at some points, and it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to fear it, you know? It doesn't have to be scary. You know, I don't know if that's the right term, but yeah. Second, I'm redrawing one of my blatant self-insert characters later. I've been inspired. 6th grade me, this one's for you. Hell fucking yeah. Felt that though most of my old OCs were self-inserts because I thought that too. Totally feel that. You take psychic damage from looking at your old art. Oh my god, I feel that. Even if I end up sharing some of my oldest art for like charity goals, there are definitely a few that I'm going to admit because they were just so out there wild cringe. Like, not even like necessarily cringe, but like definitely the kind where I'm like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to reveal this to the world. You know, as much as I again tout like don't throw away your old stuff and all that, and like, you know, I don't want to like delete my old like my oldest streams, you know. As much as I say that, there's one or two drawings from that sketchbook that I'm going to omit. Definitely. Just because I was a weird 13-year-old sometimes. And I don't want that information out there. But otherwise, the entire thing is open, unfortunately, for the cringing part of me. Not the cringe part of me, but the cringing part of me. Actually, maybe we'll do a yellow eye for this little thing. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Do I have it in... Oh no, I closed the window. Oh well. My hyperfemme Mary Sue Dragon's Lair OC. When I was obsessed with fairy tale. Yes, fairy tale. Hold me till the day I die. Oh my god, yes, I feel that. Oh my gosh. I had a Teen Titans OC that was like the edgiest, angstiest like thing ever. That was like a super like, it was a self-insert, but it was also like just like the hardest angst I could go as a 12-year-old. And I totally feel that. I also had a creepypasta OC that was the same thing, but a little bit later. And that one I actually did start writing a fanfic for that I still have in my Google Docs somewhere. Which, who knows, maybe I'll use that as another charity sub goal someday. The next time I do a charity stream. Oh my god. Oh man. I was like, I know this is no surprise to you, Ash, but I was such a creepypasta kid. Oh my god, I was such a creepypasta kid. Oh my gosh. It's funny because sometimes I'll see like wild creepypasta fan art or something crush my Tumblr dash, and I'll just sit there like, oh my gosh. You know? It's crazy to see that, like, apparently that fandom still exists. Genuinely. I wouldn't have expected it this late in the game. But there are still people making fan art and stuff. It's very popular on TikTok, unsurprisingly. Cursed intro song. There we go. Not to say that in a TikTok is cringe ew way. It's just not surprising that that crowd likes creepypasta characters. Because cosplay was such a huge part of the scene originally. So, you know. But yeah. I used to be down so bad for VOD. Literally the fanfic I was writing as a 12-year-old. As a 12-year-old, I was writing this. 12 at most. Literally the fanfic I was writing was like it went hardest on the two things that I was most obsessed with at the time, which was like Marble Hornet's Slenderverse and then also Ben Drowned. I was like super, like I had such a like child crush on Ben Drowned for no reason. Absolutely no reason whatsoever. But it was meant to be like a slow burn romance. Between a self-insert character and then an aged up Ben Drowned. all the characters were aged up. But yeah. It was literally so edgy. Oh my gosh. But I think the funniest part is that I found ways to repurpose some of it into projects that I'm doing to this day. So, you know. Literally. Here's a great example of never throw out your art, even the cringy stuff. Because you can find ways to use it later. This is a perfect example. Oh my god. Actually, no, but going further into that, actually, like a huge chunk of what I'm currently working on as one of my biggest secret projects right now, which is not really the biggest secret ever. It's a D&D campaign, but whatever. Like 90% of it is literally created from a story and world that I had created when I was like 11, 12. I think 11. I want to say no, 12. Literally the world it's set in is a world that I created when I was 12. Like that's literally it. And there's like a large chunk of the NPCs are just OCs that I've made over the years. Some of whom are from the original concept from way back when I was like 12. So there's a good thing, you know? There's a really good example of never throw out your old art. Because that's literally it. Like 99% of the work that I've done on this campaign would not exist without all of my old stuff. It just wouldn't exist. There we go, that'll work. And then I'll do this. You conquer them in the end. If you can. There we go. Oh, the shoes. Shoes are important. This might be the last character I get done tonight, just because I am starting to get real tired now.
We will see. I think this is also the first year I've given Zombie Girl socks. Like real socks and not just the little fleshy socks. Which, wow, I fucked up the shoes a little bit, but we're just gonna not talk about that. It's fine, Chad, it's fine. We're not gonna talk about it. It's fine. I think this is the first year that I've given her, like, real socks. I gave her just little tiny ankle socks peeking out of her sneakers. 'Cause it just looked bare without them, honestly. There we go. That orbit that surrounds you. That orbit that surrounds. We'll do little like white gym socks. There we go. That's cute. I'll just do this, I think. Orbit that surrounds you. That orbit that surrounds you. That orbit that surrounds. That orbit that surrounds you. And then I'll use a lighter gray just for the very bottom. I think, because I think that's cute. And that's a nice little differentiation. This song is so fucking good. This is such a legit bop. As is most everything from Good Kid, honestly, but this is like just such a good one. I love this song. Come on. There we go. Oh, this is another excellent one for tonight. Alright. I've gotten so much better at drawing, like, nails. Like, that's a weird thing to, like, point out for the non-artists here. But I've just gotten so much better at drawing nails. Like, oh my gosh. So much better. So much better. I've learned a lot about how, like, proportionally nails function. Honestly. What else do I need? There. Now the teeth are cleaned up. Is there anything else that I need? Oh my god, it's coming together. Holy shit. That's crazy shit. Look at that. It looks so good. So good. I do need to go back to the werewolf girl though really quick and just fix a few tiny things. There. And then I'll get that there. I can easily swap between the two colors. Whoops. This is such a good cover. I'm always on the lookout for good, like DMCA free music like that, honestly. Although, who knows? It might get me muted. Because it is technically a Nintendo cover, I think. Oh no, technically it's not. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Banjo-Tooie things, I don't know. Yo, black hole. Thank you. I'm so happy with it so far. It's turning out so nice. Like, again, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I was genuinely worried about this. Redraw, like, this year. I was, like, actually thinking about not doing it this year, because I was like, I have no idea if I have time. I don't know if this is gonna look good or not. I might just scrap it this year. But I'm glad I've stuck with it. Oh. That's from a different layer. Which I'm gonna merge in a second, because I do kind of want these two on the same layer. Mostly because I colored in the zombie girl's teeth on the wrong layer. But whatever, it's fine. Okay. Okay, I think that's good. Do I need to fix anything else? I do kind of. These socks need a little bit of fixing. There we go. Okay. There. Okay. Okay. It's 12:30. Could I get another character done in time? I could probably get the vampire girl. Here. Go. There we go. I can probably get the vampire girl done. Because she's super simple. Like, she doesn't have a ton of color variation on her. So I'm gonna try and get her done, and I think that'll be probably the last one for tonight. Just because I am tired, and it is definitely late. Am I right there? Okay. There's always that split second of worry. There we go. Oh man, I just remembered. looking at fishnets and red heels, I just remembered. Oh my god. I found a perfect copy of Rocky Horror a few days ago at a local thrift store. Literally near perfect condition, like DVD of Rocky Horror for like $2. And I'm so excited about it. I am so excited. That is one less reason to worry about paying Disney, because it's on Disney Plus here, which is like the only like streaming service that has it. So now this is just another reason that I don't have to give any money to Disney, which is always a win. Because fuck Disney. But anyways. So yeah, I found that the other day, and I'm super excited about that. I might actually watch that for my birthday. I'm not going to lie. I might just have to watch that for my birthday. And have a Rocky Horror night. Where's the one that I have to use? I think this is the one that I use for most. Yeah. Oh no, her hair is like a red. Yeah, she's like a super dark red. I almost forgot about that. Let's go like this. Yeah, there we go. And it's a little bit more brown than I like, but for the first pass, I'll use it. I'm so happy with how her hair turned out this year. Turned out so nice. It's so like fluffy and curly and just like so beautiful. It's like nice and bouncy almost, which is exactly what I want. I have so many Discord notices. Okay, no. Here we go. I knew this was Nintendo. I knew it. I knew it had to be. If I start to get a little bit quiet, it's because I'm focused. There we go. Literally, I could not be happier with her face. Because her face just turned out so perfectly. Like, literally, this is like the best face. I think her face is my favorite out of this year's redraw, honestly. Again, it just turned out so nice. I'm so happy with it. There we go, a little bit of lipstick. Ah, I love her. She's so cute. Okay. Should be good for like nice red hair. It's always gotta be like super like dark red, you know? Because vampires. Oof, tired. Okay. And now, time for the, like, cape. I like to do these little bands darker than the cape itself. I don't know why, but it feels right. I think there's been a few years where I've just colored these in the line art entirely and then done like a highlight with coloring. This is also the time when I start remembering that the last year I did this, it ended up being like 100 layers or something total. My computer was literally like freezing up. I'm a little bit worried about that happening again. It's too good to lose. Now listen carefully. Please press to the phone to make your way downstairs. You haven't got far to fall. Now it's red, now it's there, now it's everything she needed. Now it's for open doors, pillows pressed under your knees, and it's a sad, sappy sucker to ensure happy ending. Been scared of sleeping with the lights on. No, she's not there. I know she's going to his flat. I got Rick on, oh fuck that. You see sex sells, you know that. I've been scared of sleeping with the lights off. No, she's not there, I know she's going to his flat. A Capricorn, oh fuck that. You say sex sells, you know that. Goodbye my silence. If you got none to lose, if you still infatuated with the truth. There we go. I might have to use a brighter red for these. This isn't quite where I want them to be. They've got to be like a nice, like shiny, like red, you know? Nice, shiny red shoes. Shoes that would make Dorothy weep. There we go. That's a nice red. I might use that for the lipstick, actually. Just because it is like a brighter, more obvious red. So I kind of like the idea of that. I don't know, we'll see. I might go back tomorrow and fix it or something. If I revisit this piece tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Alright, and I know that there's like this little tiny outline around everything. I'm probably gonna revisit the worst areas of it and erase it, but for now it doesn't really matter as much as getting in the bigger like swaths of color, so I'm not as concerned with fixing it. Oh, so tired. Okay, I managed to do Vampire Girl in 10 minutes. So I'm gonna look at a few super simple areas where I can add in color, just like super quick, and we're gonna do that. There, okay. And then where is the cat? The cat should be on this layer. So I'm gonna do the cat as well. And then I think we might call it a night there. Is this not the right layer? Where the fuck? Where did I do the cat? Why is the cat on its own layer? Is the cat on its own layer? What else is here? Oh my god, that's the worst. I did it on a liner layer without even realizing. We're gonna cut that. That's the wrong layer. Okay. Here we go. Cut. And then we're gonna go up here. Paste. Not clipping. And there we go. Fixed it. I'm an artistic god. Alright. There we go. And then I gotta give the cat its little pink nosy, because I always give it a pink nose. I think. Do I? Not always. Most of the time. I like to give it a little pink nose. Because it's an adorable cat, and it deserves to have a cute little pink nose. Whether or not it actually shows up in the final drawing is a noticeable detail. There we go. Okay. for tonight. This is really all I can do tonight, honestly, without keeping myself up way too late. Alright. Let's look for somebody to raid. Stick around. Stick around for the raid chat. Stick around, stick around. We're gonna see if we can find somebody who here is live. Oh, you know what? I know who we're gonna raid. I know who we're gonna raid. Thank you so much, Black Hole. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna raid, Rexair, who's doing Fortnite. Rexair is super cool. I watch his streams all the time. He's really cool, super chill, super cool. Show him lots of love. Be nice, chat. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, night, or whatever time it is there. Alright. Thank you guys so much. Alright. Let's launch this raid. Let's get this going. Stick around. Stick around, stick around, stick around. For the raid to count down. I don't like that it gives a countdown, but whatever. Alright. Raid now. Raid now. Bye-bye.